What's up? How you doing? Here we are. Do a little bit of cooking today. Got the red peppers, the Anaheim peppers here. Got a few of them, and of course, onions. Love onions. And we're gonna cook it using grapeseed oil. Good stuff here. Got the cookery right here, made in Nepal. Look how thick that is. Thick steel. Got my knife here. So I think I've discovered the cure, the remedy to insomnia. Bob Ross. Love Bob Ross. Has the canvas with that slippery white paint on it that he always puts on before the show starts. And then he takes his 2-inch brush, makes a little sky back there, a few clouds, mountain with that metal scalpel, whatever that is. And at first you're looking at it, you're like, looks like a 6-year-old with a crayon is doing that. But within a minute, you start looking at that and you're saying to yourself, that looks like a place Grizzly Adams would visit. Very beautiful mountains, trees, loves the shrubs, bushes, and just relaxing show. Has that fluffy hair. But I watch that and immediately I feel like sleeping. But it's amazing, amazing scenery. Just, you know, touches it around, does the X's with the brush, and before you know it, you're looking at reality. So I'm a big fan of Bob Ross. I highly recommend watching Bob Ross paint. So that's it. Let me cut some of these up now. So I'm back. Cut up the onions, get them going. Nice smell of onions. You know, sometimes I think about the Waltons, and I remember they always had a pot of coffee going at all times, and if somebody would drop by, they would offer them a cup of coffee. They'd say, "Would you like a cup of coffee? I have a fresh pot going." Always fresh pot. I always wondered what kind of coffee they made. I know it wasn't Starbucks, but what kind of coffee did they use? Because they would sip it and it sounded like they were enjoying it. Very tasty coffee. But they always had a fresh pot of coffee. And I make coffee in the morning, but I only make enough, you know, that I'm gonna drink. Me and my wife will have a cup. I don't make, you know, 3 gallons of coffee in case the sheriff drops by. Offer him a cup. So I don't know why they always make that much coffee. They're constantly drinking coffee all day. But I'm a big fan of that show. I love the Waltons. Zeb. Ike Godsey. Corbeth, Judy Norton, big fan of Judy Norton. I actually saw Jason, what's his name? Can't think of his name right now. But I saw him live. It's like Thanksgiving many years ago. He was playing a show. I think he's British. Had a good time. He played some good tunes, played the guitar. Like that sawmill they had. Good show. Judy Norton has her own YouTube account, YouTube channel. I highly recommend it. If you're a fan of the Waltons, you should watch Judy Norton, Mary Ellen. Very, very good information on that channel about the Waltons. I watch it all the time. course, big fan of John Boy. I saw him in something years ago, Red Badge of Courage. I think he was in that. Onions make the meal. Some people, they don't like the smell of onions, so genetically they have a disdain for onions. I don't have that kind of gene. I love onions. So you know who else I'm a big fan of? A lot of people don't know this. Maybe they don't know the character. Gordon on Sesame Street. I think his name is Roscoe Orman. Big fan. I'm a big fan. So there was another guy, another actor who played Gordon on Sesame Street, and then he disappeared. And they replaced him with this guy that's been on, I don't know if he's still on right now, but he was on for, I don't know, since 70 something, you know, mid 70s, maybe before, a little before that. Big fan of his. I don't know, I like his style. Seems like a very decent person. Like the way he dresses, good style on that. And you know, when I would watch Sesame Street, I always found him to be a solid person, solid guy. Good support from him. I feel like you would get in life if you ever had to go through something. He's one of those guys that you feel would stand by your side. So Gordon on Sesame Street, Roscoe Orman.
Do you want this? Do you want your sister?
Yeah, I don't need it right now.
Okay.
After. Thank you. Yeah, I would watch Sesame Street. He lived in that house next to Oscar the Grouch. He had to climb up a few steps, go inside. Like that house. I think he was married to Susan. But yeah, I grew up on that show. I actually thought it was a real street when I was a kid. Made my father drive me around town one time looking for that, and I made him ask people if they knew where Sesame Street was, and he actually got out of the car and asked people. But yeah, like to meet Gordon. Anybody know Roscoe? If you know Roscoe Orman, tell him if he's ever in my neighborhood, drop by. Let me know. I'd like to meet him. He's seems like a very nice guy. Yeah. Well, cut the peppers in. You know, I said this before. A lot of people they remove the seeds from these things, like even tomatoes. They take out the seeds when they make ketchup or something, or sauce. I love the seeds. That's the best part. I like that crunchy, you know, I like trying to bite the seeds when I feel them in my mouth. A lot of people, they throw the seeds out. That's the best part. You throw the seeds out, mail them to me. I'll eat the seeds. The best part. If they fall out, they fall out, but I don't intentionally throw them out. Nice color. So I had a crazy dream the other night. I was in my truck and I was driving on the highway. It seemed like I was up by the Grapevine, and that's where the mountains are close to each other, and there's the highway going in between. and they're kind of made up of that dry grass, all rolly. So anyway, I'm up there and I'm driving, and I'm noticing while I'm driving, going about 70 miles an hour, obeying the speed limit, I'm noticing that the mountains are getting closer and closer together. All right, so all of a sudden, I'm on a one-lane highway, and then the mountains are kind of like touching each other, and they're shrinking where it becomes almost like I'm in a tunnel with boulders all around me. And at some point I'm thinking that because the road takes a bend to the left, I can't see if going at that speed I'm going to wedge into a tunnel. So I slam on the brakes, and as I slam them on, the tunnel, the mountains come even close to the car, where at that point I can't even open up the doors, you know, and then I wake up. So I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened after. Weird dreams. Kind of like having a nightmare once in a while. You know, they're entertaining and they're not real. Not like a nightmare in real life and then you can't wake up and get away from it. But when you have a dream like that and you wake up, sense of relief. I had a dream when I was a kid. It was a Sunday, I remember. Probably was around 10 years old, and I was in the Wild West walking around, and somebody pulled out a gun. I was in front of a saloon with those doors, you know, the little ones, and they pull out the gun and they go to shoot me, and I turn my back to them and they shoot me, my shoulder blade in the back, like 6 times, and it woke me up. But for a few seconds I thought I really got shot. It felt real, and then I realized, no, my imagination. They don't predict anything. You're just having weird dreams. Your mind is on autopilot. A lot of people think they have a dream and it's a prediction. It is if you live in the 4th century. It's an old-fashioned alarm. Need to come up with a different sound, you know. Maybe like a siren from the old Soviet Union. Get your attention.